Texas roots, where my heart belongs, where my heart belongs. Take me back to South Texas roots.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be working here in my living room. As you can see, I have a feature wall back here behind me. I love the way that looks, but I also have this big wall over here that's just sheetrock. First off, I need to go back in and remud over all the tape and stuff one more time just to make sure that it's ready to go. Then I'll go back in and texture it all. But what I'm thinking, I have this big wall over here. It goes up 12 foot to the peak there, all the way from the front door to where the kitchen is. It cuts off right here. What I'm thinking, I had a lot of boards left over from my fireplace build of 1x2s. So here's the 1x2. Thinking about going in and adding them in like this and making board and batten on this wall. I think it'll kind of give it more of a, I don't know, different look instead of just having just a plain, simple, flat wall. This whole entire wall over there, even maybe above the cabinets over there, that triangle section, maybe even do it over there as well and have that whole wall board and batten. I'll still go back in, paint it the same color, but one, it'll help kind of just break up that wall a little bit, and two, it'll help kind of hide a little bit of the defects here and there. I'm not 100% confident on my drywall skills, but overall, I think when it's all said and done, it'll look really nice. But that's what I'm thinking about doing. I actually have probably, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 of those 1x2s still left over on the back porch. I'm going to see how far I can go with that, and if I need to go into town and get more, I will. But I've been trying to go through all the wood I have back here on the porch. It's kind of bright out there, but I still have a stack of them. I think I may have enough to make it work. If not, like I said, it's not a big deal to go to town and get some more. But yeah, I think that'd be a nice way to be able to break up that wall a little bit. I'm also going to be using those 1x2s for trim work all along the ceiling lines and on the corners and all that good stuff. And then, like I said, I'll come back in. This wall will be fairly easy to do. There's not a lot of wall space to go in and have to texture. You're only looking at about a 2-foot strip over there, same above, and then it goes up to about a foot all the way across, and then up there on that triangle piece up there. So not too much to have to worry about, but I wish y'all could see Daisy right now. She's out in the pond playing, which is the reason I dug that pond out for them. Let's see if I can show y'all real quick through the window. It's a little dirty out there and kind of bright, but you may be able to see her out there. So anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna go in first thing, start remudding over everything that I think needs to be touched up. I think all the screw holes are fine. I just need to go over all the tape marks once again. That's gonna be a couple of days because I gotta let it dry in between. So I'll try to mud all those up first thing, and then we'll go back in. Maybe tomorrow, go back in, texture the whole wall. I'll run into town, get the 1x2s, come back in and get that done and get it painted, and I think it'll look way different than what it does right now. So anyways, there's one last look at what it looks like from back here. All right, time for me to stop talking. Let's get to, what are we doing right now? Mudding. Let's get to mudding. Alrighty, so it's been about 2 hours. You can still see it's trying to dry a little bit. I just went over once again, just over the tape marks. All the screw marks were already done pretty good. It's just the tape side needed a little bit more. Went over here, did this whole wall, went above all the cabinets, and I decided to just go ahead and do the north and south walls as well. You can see some of the darker spots up there where it's still trying to dry out. Same thing above the doors, and then back over here on the north side as well. So I got to let that stuff dry out so I can go in and sand it, and then we'll go back in with this little brush. I had to improvise. Here's the brush I'm using, these textured ones. They didn't have any that were smaller, so I had to buy another one and cut it. Made my own for a smaller roller. Just make my life a little bit easier going up above the cabinets and stuff like that with a smaller roller. instead of having that 9-inch one, which you just be hitting everything. I think this would be a little bit easier to get closer to the edges and make it look as good as possible. So anyways, I think it's when it's really going to start coming together. And once again, I have those 2 different color paints. I'm not sure if I want to go ahead and paint the entire living room one color, or if I want to do maybe the south wall over here, the north wall one color, and then possibly this wall over here a different color. Not 100% sure yet, but I do know I want to do the board and batten once again on this section over here. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let this stuff dry out. We'll continue this video tomorrow. Like I said, I got to go in and sand around where those tape marks are, and then we can get to texturing these walls. It should take me, by the time I get everything done and let it dry, it's going to be an additional day, so you would not be able to see paint on this video, but I should have everything textured and ready to go. It's just a process. It takes time to do it. So anyways, I'm going to enjoy, looks like Nick Shirley's on there. Is that some protest in Chicago? When the hell is there not a protest in Chicago? But yeah, I'm going to sit back, relax the rest of the evening. I also came back in, forgot to say that, and I just painted this thing today. It took me 4 different coats of white paint. That's why my fridge is sticking out. I need to go ahead and push it back in once it's completely dry. So I think I made the right decision by go ahead and adding in that 1x12 and painting it white. I think it ties everything in nicely. So yeah, anyways, that's all I got for today. We'll check back in the morning. Alrighty, you can see it's nice and white now, which means it's dry. I'm going to go back in and sand everything down. First thing I'm going to do is go in and sand up above where the cabinets are, get that wall textured all the way around, all the way up the corner and the side, and then we'll work our way around this wall over here. And then what I'll do is I'll texture it. I'll go in and paint it, see what it looks like. If it's not tickling my fancy, I'll go back in and like I said, add in the other boards and do more of a board and batten look and see if that does. I think either way I'll be happy, but like I said, I'll go ahead and just texture it first, paint it, see what it looks like, and then go back in, and if we need to add the other boards, we will. But anyways, one last look at what it looks like now. May not look like a lot of progress on this video because it's just mudding the walls and stuff, just texturing it, so I don't know if it's actually going to show it or not on the video, but I'll do a time lapse just to show me getting up and down everywhere. It's gonna be one of those days where I'm getting up on the ladder a million times, trying to reach around all the cabinets and stuff, and there's no one to blame but myself on this. I knew when I was buying all my cabinets and everything, installing them, that it was gonna make it a little bit harder working around later on, and we finally came around to later on, so here we are. So anyways, it is time to stop talking. I gotta stretch it out, get my body where it needs to be, then we're gonna get up on that ladder. We're gonna get to work. All right, so I picked up a couple of sanding blocks. I'm gonna go over everything that I went over with mud yesterday, basically where all the tape is. I'll use the small one over here on this wall, and then I'll pull out the bigger one on the main wall, and I'll use the extension rod to be able to get up and down so I don't have to get on the ladder a million times. But as far as this wall goes, I'll just have to make my way around all my cabinets and everything. It'll be a slow process, but it's gonna get done. Just one day after another. If you continue at it, you'll eventually get it done. So anyways, I'm gonna put this thing to good use. Let's stop talking, let's get to sanding. Everything's sanded. I got the mud, the texture that I need. That's pretty much all I have, about half a bucket. And then I have these 2 buckets over here with maybe a third of it left in it. So I'll have to go to town eventually and get some more. I don't have enough to be able to finish all this stuff, but I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start on that wall over there, the south wall, start in that corner, work my way this way, all the way around to this side of the stove. And I think that might be able to be enough for this video as far as the mud that I have to be able to do it. I think I'm about to pick up another one to be able to do this other wall. So I don't know, it's coming along little by little, a lot of sanding. It didn't get as dusty in here as I thought. Going over there on that side, that's why I was using that smaller one, just going real slow, trying not to get dust everywhere. This side over here was a different story, but as you can see, a lot of it went down on the drop cloth that I have. So anyways, now I'm gonna get the texture out, start working on that wall over there. I'm gonna use both the 9-inch roller and also the smaller one, if I can find my 9-inch roller. I was looking for it earlier and I can't find it, so I don't know, lose my mind. So much stuff in this house. So anyways, I'll find it and then we're gonna get back to work. All right, so there's the texture after rolling it on. I'm gonna let it sit on the wall for a little bit before I go back in and knock it down. But I made it all the way over here to where the fridge is. Like I said, I'll let this set for just a second. Then I'll go back in with my tool here and go ahead and scrape it down real light and get that knockdown effect. And it should come out pretty good. I think I'm getting the hang of it for the most part. It's just the main part is trying to get the consistency right for the mud, make everything match. But I'll have to use a smaller brush here in a second to get around some of this other stuff. And then I'll go back to the bigger brush once I get up to the top over there. So I don't know, it's slowly coming along. I'm very excited to get some color in this room, and it'll definitely make this kitchen pop a little bit more. There's just too much white in here right now. I need a little bit of color in here, and I think if I go ahead and paint that wall that green color, I think it'll make everything pop nicely. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry up a little bit, continue along. We'll check back in here in a bit and see how far I got. Alrighty, so I'm moving right along, got about a third of this wall done. Once again, I got that whole south wall done, all above the cabinets, all above the cabinets over there where the stove is, on the side wall as well, and then about a third of this big wall over here. Just using the ladder and the extension rod. I have not had to use the scaffolding yet, which is good, but came in, got a good texture on it for the most part. There's little defects and stuff here and there like that, but it is what it is. Like I said, I may end up going back in and adding boards over the top of it for that board and batten look, if I don't like the way it looks like this. But realistically, I'll have my desk down here. I'll have my mini split above the hallway entry, and then I'll have some kind of big artwork or photo or something up above there. So you won't be able to see a lot of the wall, but I still want to give it some kind of character, something a little bit different, and that's why I was trying to kind of leaning towards doing the board and batten. So first things first, got to finish texturing it, see what it looks like, get it painted in, and then we'll get to that point and decide if we want to do it or not. But anyways, I need to stop talking. I'm going to try to get this finished with what I have, and then we're going to check back in. here done. Took me a bit, but I got it all done. Had just enough of that mud left over to be able to get that whole section done. So I got that big section done, the side of the stove, that wall, and then once again all over here. It's gonna take a minute to dry. That's just part of the game. You mud everything one day, let it dry, you can go back in, sand it down or paint it, whatever you want to do the next day. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Tomorrow I'll be going in and starting to paint. That's when it's really going to start taking shape in here, but unfortunately that's all it's going to be on this video. Just one of those things that just takes time to do it, and it's just a part of the process. I got it all over me. I try to wear the same clothes a couple of days in a row while I'm doing this type of work, just because everything gets so dirty. Look at that. I did put a drop cloth down over here so it caught most of the stuff here, but when you're rolling it up top up there, some of that stuff starts to come off, and I just not looking forward to doing the ceiling in here. It was bad enough trying to do it in the bedroom and the bathroom, which I still need to paint here in the bedroom. I'm not gonna just skip over it, but I need to paint the ceiling white and then get the rest of the stuff situated in here. I brought my desk in here just for the time being, set it up there, getting ready to edit this video. And then once again, in case you missed the other videos, came in and painted the bathroom once again. Need to hit that with the second coat of paint down there and then back this way. So slowly but surely she's coming along. She'll be done here soon. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Like I said, it'll start making everything start popping a lot more in the kitchen. All the cabinets and stuff will start standing out a lot more, and overall it'll just look a heck of a lot more finished. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, just did the knockdown texture, rolled it on, went back in, knocked it down, and that's basically it. Let it dry, and if you like it, go with it, and if not, do something else. So anyways, that's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for the next video of painting and whatnot, and check out the side channel STR Talks. So anyways, now I'm done talking. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Bye guys.
Take me back to South Texas roots, where my heart belongs, where my heart belongs. Take me back to South Texas roots.